Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thank you for taking the time out to click on my video and willing to engage in this series. So, Jamaica is still facing its pandemic coronavirus, so as many other countries around the world, right? Because it's a pandemic. And there are lessons that each of us can take from this virus. I'm going to name a few, and I hope that if you haven't learned that yet, that you'll definitely take notes now. Do you remember when your grandmother used to say, save for a rainy day? She didn't necessarily mean when it rains or when it falls, but she meant by when problems are coming left, right, and center, you must save something to overcome the continuous flood of rainfalls or the continuous flood of problems. Many persons now are recognizing the importance of saving and actually having something put away for unprecedented or unexpected times. A time like this where the country is locked down in a lot of the as it used to. The transport system is at probably its lowest ever in a number of years. Barbers are out of jobs because people are not really wanting to go to barbers to avoid contact with other people. Hairdressers the same, nail technicians the same. And all these small men who help to run the economy in the smallest way, they are not bustling as usually. So we've learned that save for a rainy day. A second point that we would have learned from the coronavirus is, and a second lesson that we might have learned from coronavirus is that friend better than pocket change. In this time that many of us are locked in our houses and we are not used to this coop up style or quarantine style where they're trying to avoid interaction outside, we recognize to maintain that mental stability and health, we really need people. No man is an island. We need people to survive, persons to check in on us, persons to call us to make sure we're good. Some of us might have had a lot of money before this virus, and on the hit of this virus, we started spending more than we expected to spend, and it has dwindled savings or even spending accounts. So we're going to learn that pocket change, friend mean more than the pocket change we have. I know enough man always talk about, or young people always talk about, yo, we don't need to go to college, yo, we just stunts, richness and badness. But you realize in times like these, our monies alone can't work. We have to have the intellectual ability and actual intellectual skills to help us combat and overcome times like these. Thank you to the nurses, thank you to the policemen, thank you to the scientists who have given up hours with their families to understand this disease and do all that research that sometimes normally take years to complete to be able to give us a feasible understanding of how this virus works. So I hope after this, all of you decide to get a little additional intellect or education. You might not need it, but still get it. Because you never know when you might save the world, little you know. Isn't me? The fourth lesson is that people behave different to things based on their survival needs. I read a post this morning on Dennis Strong page. He is now the head of National Solid Waste, right? And he stated that the survival for a rich man and for a poor man are two different scenarios. And it comes from something that they call the hierarchy of needs. A rich man in his ability to buy whatever he needs at this moment won't worry so much about being able to feed himself because he captured the ability to buy the basic things, which is food. The poor man now, who probably lives hand to mouth and has little to no saving, he really has to go out there and juggle. His inability to do that prevents his true survival. So you see, the survival for the rich man is preventing the spread of the disease at his level, but the survival for a poor man, he may really worry about hunger over him health. Even if the ultimate is death, he might go try to think about what he needs to do now to make sure his family is fed. So it speaks to the hierarchy and needs. The hierarchy and needs differ based on your economic status and where you stand in life. I want all people to recognize this. Make goals and reach them. And this pandemic would have taught us that lesson. The fifth lesson from COVID-19 really, and the association of COVID-19, is that many of us still need God. I know many of us have found ways or means of trying to discredit who God is, and that there's no proof of it in certain, it's just stories in the Bible. But even if these are just stories in the Bible, these stories keep on fulfilling themselves in different ways and means. And we realize our existence is not limited to just those things that are around us, but to a higher being. And in desperation or mental instability, we seek that higher being, even when we don't even recognize that we're doing it. So God, or your Almighty, or your superior being, is still relevant in today's affairs. Yeah? Don't forget that. If you can't believe when a man say a car stops at the speed that it drives, why can you believe that there's a superior being and things can happen in coordination with the superior being? Think on those things. I hope you recognize from this thing too that indiscipline has no place in society. With indisciplined behavior, things tend to escalate no matter how you think that they might have been overlooked. I give you two perspectives. Number one is, in this time, persons have been neglecting social distancing, staying at home, quarantine, and some persons even ignore the curfew. Yeah? What can that lead to? The more contact you have and close contact with other persons who might be infected or just mere carriers would increase the chance of spreading disease. Also, in this curfew, many of us rights have been taken from us just to manage the disease. Like police officers who are going out there to make sure people are observing the curfew, but sometimes these officers of the law sometimes decide they want to take different measures and matters in their own hands, and sometimes mistreat human beings in different ways. We have an investigation ongoing about a young man who was told to run all the way home after he was on the road, way after hours. It was said that it led to his untimely death. Well, it's still being investigated. I gave you two scenarios for you to understand the impact of indiscipline and not adhering to rules, and how it can lead to the detriment of your own life in different ways. I'm not saying that the young man who died resulted in because of indiscipline. I'm just saying to you that sometimes different things lead to consequences. Another point is that we must protect our environment. The only way we can protect our environment and it turns around and protect us and sustain health in this country overall is by living the most healthy and clean meals, even in the most industrialized countries. We have better quality air now. The air quality across the world has increased for many countries. You have persons who are spending more time with their family that oftentimes just come home, bathe, eat, go to sleep, and the cycle continues. And we don't even know the basic and understand the basic emotional people we live with. This has created it. And then you have where Jamaicans have demonstrated how innovative they could be on the most constrained situation. That for sure you say enough time when we import ideas from overseas, we can brainstorm and figure out so many of our own problems and fix them. Jamaicans, we're mentally powerful. We're physically strong. We're great. Corona has caused some of us to become so creative. I know we're just starting out and we have many months to experience with this virus. It might last all 4 months, the impact of the virus. 6 months, or probably a year. But I believe in my people. The strength of my forefathers the lessons we have learned must be brought into our society. That yeah, we can become self-sufficient. We can plant a ground in our backyard and provide for our family. We can save so much more money than send all of it to expatriate countries by supporting just expatriate businesses. How about supporting your brothers? And I am amazed that most of who's contributing are small businesses, real yardie, real Jamaican. I must big up though other corporate companies who have stood in the midst and demonstrated their love for their country and their loyalty. There are so many lessons we learn from coronavirus. But let them not just be lessons. Make them be learned lessons that will guide us to a greater society by 2022 and beyond. Peace out and I love you. Yo, Corona, you can't win yourself. Bless up.